We continue with our series for this week's lesson, where we are focusing on strategy development. So what is it that you need to consider when you are planning a strategy? That's what we are going to be continuing with. We have already looked at the previous lessons, and this one is lesson 45 and 46 of Digital Marketing 3. So we looked at lesson 43, we looked at lesson 44. So in lesson 43, I introduced you guys to the concept, the framework of source stack, which is needed when planning a strategy, when coming up with a strategy. So I unpacked and discussed source stack, where S stands for something, O stands for something, S stands for something, T stands for something, A stands for something, and C stands for something. So those are the things that we're discussing in the previous lessons. And in lesson 44, we unpack the S component of source stack. So we did situation analysis, where we looked at the resources. So if you are to come up with a plan for a strategy, you need to ask yourself where you are. You need to ask yourself, what is it that you have in order to go to the next level that you want to be in. So before you come up with objectives, something that you're going to be looking at in this session, you need to do a situation analysis. You need to think about the resources that you have. You need to think about the skills that you have. You need to think about the competitor and the competitor's capability. You need to think about the intermediaries. You need to do both a micro and macro analysis when coming up with that strategy. So that was the S component of it. S standing for situation analysis. Now we are going to look at O. O standing for objectives. So we need to set the goals. So this lesson unpacks and discusses the goals for the strategy. So what is it that you need to achieve at the end of the day? You can't come up with a strategy that does not have goals, that does not have objectives. At the end of the day, you need to ask yourself that this is what I've achieved. So realize that in F2, we have asked you guys to set 2 objectives for Yapi Chef, different objectives, just to show how you can be involved in developing a strategy. So any marketing strategy should be based on clearly defined corporate objectives, and digital marketing should be an integrated element, not considered separately from the main business and marketing objectives. So remember, every business, all businesses have got their objectives of existence, be it to supply sanitation, be it to provide higher education qualifications like Boston Media House. So its objectives, of course, is to fulfill the academic strategies that it have in order to exist. So you realize that each and every company out there, it has got its main business objective. It has got its main marketing objectives. So when coming up with a digital marketing strategy, you need to make sure that those digital marketing strategy are in line, or they liaise, or they are interlinked with the main objectives for business and marketing. So you cannot have a digital marketing strategy that is completely separate from the main business objectives and the marketing objectives. But these have been happening in so many cases. I've come across social media pages, social media accounts for organization, whereby the message, the style, everything that they are communicating on their platforms is completely different from the business objectives of that organization. So I'll give you, for example, if you are Pick n Pay and you operate in the retail space, you've got digital assets such as a social media account, a Facebook page, and you are not communicating and relaying messages that are related to retail or to the products that you sell. All what you're doing, you're posting stuff that are in sports or in leisure. You are sharing jokes and comments that have got nothing to do with Pick and Pay at all. That would even consumers, to some extent, they'll feel like they are lost. You know, they are somewhere that they shouldn't be. So with digital assets that organization have, those owned media that you have talked about, they have to be in line with business and marketing objectives. Porter criticized the lack of goal setting when many organizations have developed internet-related strategies. He noted that many companies responding to distorted market signals have used rampant experimentation that is not economically sustainable. So remember, digital marketing is the promotion of a brand and its products on digital platforms. So if you have got digital platforms that you own as a business and you are not promoting the business, you are not promoting the brand, it means that your digital marketing strategy is not aligned with the business objectives. So it's not economically sustainable. Goals are broader, whereas aims are informed by vision. So you don't just sit to come up with a strategy. You need a vision, an imagination, something that will inspire you to set up the goal. When we grow up, we all have those visions, and we're asked by teachers, be it at primary school, what do you want to do when you grow up? And most of you guys said you want to be pilots, you know. So that was a vision that we had of being a pilot. That was a vision. Then once you have that vision, the vision creates a foundation of the goals that are going to come up. So if you've got a vision that one day you're going to become a pilot, you then come up with goals that will help you to reach or to fulfill that vision of being a pilot. So you know already that you have to be a pilot. So now goals will be, what is it that I need to do in order to become a pilot? So setting goals and objectives for digital marketing. When defining objectives and goals, you should use clear definitions. So for digital marketing, you can define different types of performance targets and measures. So these have to be determined by the vision, the goals, the objectives, the key performance indices, indicators, and the metrics and measures. So these are the ones that will guide you, that will give you a direction, that will give you a foundation, that will give you a blueprint of what you want to achieve. Without a vision, without goals, without objectives, without the mechanism to measure the performance indicators, you can be nowhere. You cannot be able to track your strategy. So you need goals to be able to know what is it that you want to achieve at the end of a specific period. So the relationship between vision, objectives, goals, and KPIs. So you can have this as a triangle or a pyramid, whereby the main focus, the reason why it becomes narrow at the top, the main focus is for you to fulfill a vision. I'll use the example of becoming a pilot again. So what is it that you only want to achieve at the end of the day is becoming a pilot. So everything that you have at your disposal, be it the resources, be it the infrastructure, be it the support that you are getting from families, from school and whoever, at the end of the day, it should be narrowed to the vision of being a pilot. So you've got metrics and measures at the bottom, you've got indicators, then the measures and the performance indicators will clearly define your objectives. Your objectives will be aligned with your goals and ultimately that vision of being a pilot. So it's the same thing with you guys. You might not even realize it, but by being at Boston, by doing Digital Marketing 3, at the end of the day, there's a vision that you need to fulfill. Be it a vision of becoming a digital marketing expert in future or a radio journalist in future. But at the end of the day, what you're doing by attending the classes is that you are fulfilling some of the goals, or you are fulfilling some of the objectives that will ultimately lead you to graduation or to fulfill that dream of being a digital marketing expert. So I hope what I'm saying makes clear. So setting goals and objectives for digital marketing. As a starting point, for setting specific objectives, it is useful to think through the benefits of using digital channels and how these can be converted into specific objectives. So as you know, channels are also target audience specific. And these channels on themselves, before you even use them, they say a lot about the objectives that you want to achieve. For example, if your objective is to increase reach amongst the millennials, or to increase the reach amongst the AMA 2000, you can't use LinkedIn because that LinkedIn does not speak to a specific objective. LinkedIn is for professionals, and most of them have already established themselves in the industries that they serve. But you look digital channels such as digital platforms such as TikTok, because that's where most AMA 2000 will be, or you use Facebook, whatever digital channel that would use, whatever digital communication platform that would use, it has to be able to convert into specific objectives. Also, identify both tangible benefits in terms of costs or revenue, which are fairly straightforward to identify, and also intangible benefits such as customer quality, which can be difficult to identify but can be fundamental to overall customer experience, particularly customer retention, because if there's smooth customer service quality, more customers can always come back. So there will be more customer retention there will be more customer loyalty. So there's a table here, I think it is also in your textbook, where you can have a look at the both intangible and tangible results. So as the word tangible itself says, tangible is something that you can physically touch. So it's something that you can physically see and physically measure, while it's intangible is something that you can feel but you cannot physically touch. So for example, you can actually see that there are new customers and there are new markets, and this can be supported by immediate statistics. But with intangible benefits, we can see enhanced brand. But how do you measure that? There has to be more intelligent tools to measure that. So these are the benefits that you need to come across. And remember, there are other benefits that were not mentioned on this table that you as students need to come up with. You must not only rely on the textbook and the benefits that you are giving to guys. You also need to think about the benefits that you can get both as a customer, because you're a customer, and also based as a digital marketing practitioner student. So you need to consult other sources and look at other benefits that you can get from digital marketing. The online revenue contribution. A key objective for digital marketing is the online revenue contribution, since this gives a simple measure of the proportion of online sales achieved in different product categories. So realize that all those who are doing digital migration, who are migrating from offline to online, the objective is to increase the revenue for a sales, for a brand. So if you are Pick n Pay, ASAP, if you are Woolies Dash, if you are Checker 6060, if you are Spa2, whatever the brand that can be. If you are a university that is now offering online courses and degrees, it's something that needs to contribute to more revenue coming to your business. Otherwise, if you are not generating any manner of it, why would you use it? So remember, this lesson is very helpful because you are going to answer some of the questions on the F2 that talks about coming up with the objectives for a certain brand. So you need to ask yourself, is this objective going to somehow generate online revenue for a brand? This is a measure of the extent to which a company's online presence directly impacts on the sales or better profit of the organization. These objectives can be specified from different types of products, customer segments, and geographic markets. It is important that companies set sales and revenue goals for online channels for which costs are controlled through an allowable cost per acquisition. And this takes into account the cost of attracting visitors through techniques such as affiliate marketing, SEO, advertising, and so on. So these are the components that you may think of whenever you are coming up with an objective for digital marketing strategy. If there are any questions, don't forget to discuss with me and other students in class next week, or ultimately you can be able to put questions on the core campus discussion forum, or to bring up the issues that you think we may discuss on WhatsApp groups. You know, it is always good to highlight issues in the presence of others other than just directly emailing me or directly messaging me. Or else it will be a discussion between me and you, but it has to benefit other students. In addition, some students can actually have intelligent answers than I do. Okay, so now we move on to the next lesson. Stay tuned.